Hey guys, what's up? This is White Boy for the win, and welcome back to Why Mega Evolved. Now, earlier last week we talked about Mega Beautifly, and today we're going to be talking about Mega Swalot. But before we get started, let me just give you guys a brief explanation of what this series is about. Now, every week I will be picking two Pokemon that either need a Mega Evolution, deserve a Mega Evolution, or I want a Mega Evolution for. Now, this is based off my opinion alone, and no one else's. Now, if you guys do not like my opinion, then please post your opinions in the comment section down below about what would you keep, what would you change, and etc. And at the end of every video, I will be telling you guys which Pokemon we're going to be talking about the following day. So with that said, here is Mega Swalot. Now, before we get into the video, I know that I may sound a little quiet, and reasons being is that because I'm recording this around 3:15 in the morning, and the reason why I'm doing that is because when I'm actually recording this, I'm breaking the fourth wall here. It's May 10th, and there is going to be Pokemon Sun and Moon news going to be revealed in about a couple of hours, and I just want to knock out some recordings pretty much just to pass the time. Because I'm not really doing anything. I was playing The Last of Us Remastered, and I've been playing it for a couple of hours, and I decided to actually stop and get some work done. So we're gonna knock out a couple of videos. So if I do sound quiet within like the next 2 to 3 videos, it's just that it's very early in the morning and I have to be really quiet. So anyways, back to the main video. So Swalot, in my opinion, is one of the most overlooked and also underrated Pokemon from 3rd Gen. Now, the one thing that I really like about Swalot the most is its move pool, because like I said, when it comes to normal type Pokemon, normal type Pokemon get access to a good variety of different typing moves, like electric type moves, ice type moves, fire type moves, and so on and so forth, and etc. and all that. And that's what Swalot gets access to. It's one of those Pokemon that isn't basically a normal type that gets access to a good variety of moves, because looking at its move pool, it gets access to Ice Beam, it gets access to Earthquake, Shadow Ball, Sludge Wave, Sludge Bomb. What else does this thing get? Power Up Punch, Gunk Shot, Destiny Bomb, Curse, Acid Armor. I can keep going, but I'll get more into detail as I get into the stats and stuff like that. So once again, I would like to see Swalot receive a Mega Evolution, just because, like I said, it's one of the most underrated Pokemon in 3rd Gen, and I honestly think it's probably one of the most forgotten compared to others in that generation. I mean, more so people will probably forget Volbeat and also Illumise, but a lot of people know those two Pokemon more than Swalot. So like I said, if any more 3rd Gen Pokemon receive a Mega Evolution, and I kind of highly doubt when it comes to Sun and Moon, but who knows, pretty much it's up in the air at this point. And I think that if there's going to be maybe 1 or 2 more evolutions, Mega Evolutions, excuse me, from 3rd Gen, I think Swalot would be a very good possibility of it actually receiving one. But with all that said, before we get into the stats, I know the picture that I'm using is not necessarily the most ideal picture for a Mega Swalot. It was the best that I could find, and I don't like it really as much, but like I said, it was the best that I could find, and I don't really want to use a regular Swalot picture, so I do apologize if it's not up to par, I would say, with your guys' idealistic vision for a Mega Swalot, so I do apologize on that part. But anyways, as you can tell from what I've done to its stats, I did increase everything but decreased its speed by 20 points from base 55 to base 35. Now, the reason being of why I actually did that was a couple of reasons. One of the reasons was because Swalot is not supposed to be a very speedy Pokemon. Obviously, it's supposed to be, I would say, in a sense, be able to take hits and then pretty much deal hits back, and so on and so forth. And like I said, it's not made to actually outspeed anything. So I feel like Swalot, with its stats as it is right now without the Mega Evolution, if it would to receive one, I feel like it should have at least a little bit more points to actually distribute into its other stats. So that's why I decreased its speed from base 55 to base 35 to add on 20 extra points for its Mega stats. So as you can tell from the rest of its stats, pretty much the one thing about Swalot that kind of sucks is that its stats are not bad, but they're not good, if that makes sense. So that 20 extra points actually helped quite considerably, if I do say so myself. So anyways, For its physical attack and special attack, I increased it both from base 73 to base 110. Now the reason why I increased those two stats like tremendously was because, like I said, Swalot's move pool does get access to a good variety of moves that this thing can actually run. It can be actually special, it can be physical, it can be pretty much like I said, both physical and or special, or even if you want to go this way, it can be mixed. And that's what I wanted to have Mega Swalot actually be, as a mixed attacker. Or if you want to run a physical set, you can, or if you want to run a special set, you can. Whatever the case may be, I wanted both of its attack stats to be equal. That way you have the option of actually choosing which one you want to use, because looking at, like I said, at its move pool, it does get access to a lot of really good moves that can benefit for either being sorry about that, for either being physical or special. And like I was saying, this thing gets access to Ice Beam, Solar Beam, Earthquake, Shadow Ball, Sludge Wave, Sludge Bomb, Power Up Punch, Curse, Gunk Shot. Like, I mean, even its tutor moves, like it gets access to Fire Punch, Giga Drain, Gunk Shot, Ice Punch, Pain Split, Seed Bomb, and so on and so forth. Like I said, this thing gets access to so many amazing moves that can actually be very viable in competitive play. Now, with the stats that I've given it for its Mega Evolution, will it be like an OP Mega? No. Like, I can see this thing being probably, I would say in RU, maybe even UU, but I don't see this thing being in UU like all that much. Maybe borderline, but like as it stands, I can probably see this thing more in like NU than anything, or RU than anything else. I'm probably getting those two tiers mixed up again, so I do apologize about that. But like I said, it does get access to a very good variety of moves that this thing can benefit for either being physical or special. So I feel like base 110 for both of its physical attack and special attack would actually do it some good and actually like be able to do damage, because like base 73 for both physical and special is not really going to cut it when it comes to competitive play, because let's be honest, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, you're either just a casual player or you're a competitive player. And most of the time, like if you're watching this, I make these for like competitive as well, because that's what pretty much Pokemon is nowadays. And I feel like it's not going to be as competitive, but it will be competitive in like lower tiers, and it'll also be a really good low tier mega to actually use as well, to join like maybe Mega Arno and all that. So I feel like Swalot would be a perfect mega for that category as well. And now, last but not least, its defenses. I increased its defenses from base 83 to base 106. Now, I know that I probably should have increased its defenses probably a little bit more than its both of its attack stats, but like I said, I feel like this thing will be a lot better if it had a little bit more offensive boost to both of its physical attack and special attack. But even though that its defenses are at base 106, you got to actually look at it on the bright side, because even though it's at base 106, its HP is at base 100, which maxes out at 404. This thing will have some natural bulk behind it. If you want to run like max HP, max physical defense, or max special defense, either or, because they are both the same, I can see this thing being such an amazing Pokemon to actually be somewhat of a wall. And you can also set up with this thing with Curse, because like I said, max HP, max physical defense, maybe with like an impish or bold natured, depending if you what kind of offensive move you would like to have on this thing. So Curse would be a very good move to actually have on this Pokemon to actually set up with. So that's just a couple of ideas. So with that, there's its stats. Now, as a regular Swalot, its base stats at 467, and with the Mega Evolution is going to be at 567. Now, for its ability, I decided to give it the Regenerator ability. Now, the reason why I've decided to give it the Regenerator ability is because, for one thing, it's like a poison sludge Pokemon, like kind of like Muck, for example. And like how I actually envisioned like why I've given it Regenerator was because, like, if you watch shows, or I would say like anime or like Ben 10 or something like that, and there's like a big sludge like monster or whatever the case may be, like you can't just punch it like a billion times and kill it. No, it'll regenerate back to like how it was before, and that's how I actually envision Swalot, because if it reminds me of like Bob from Monsters vs. Aliens, because like its shiny form is blue, so I think that's a perfect name for it if you guys ever want to make like a Swalot or anything like that. So like I said, I decided to get this thing Regenerator just because of how it actually is and how it actually looks, and I feel like Regenerator will be a very good ability for this thing, because if you don't want to run like Giga Drain or anything like that, then there is also the possibility of actually switching in and out this Pokemon to regain its HP. So that's why I've given it the Regenerator ability. And for its typing, I left it alone as just making this thing pure poison. Now there may be some people who would say you'll probably add this typing or you'll probably add that typing, but I decided to just leave its typing alone as just pure poison, just because I don't think there's another typing that I could actually give Swalot at all, just because like I said, its move pool does have it's a variety of like different typing moves. So if I, like for instance, make this thing part ice, then like Ice Beam will be stab, Ice Punch will be stab, and not a lot of people will actually agree with that. So like I said, I just decided to leave it alone. I think it's perfect the way it is. The only thing that's weak to, if I'm not mistaken, is just Ground and Psychic. Looking at Cerebi, those are the only two typings that this thing is like super effective against. So 2 typings ain't all half bad. It's a good typing as well. So like I said, I decided to leave it alone. So with all that, there is Mega Swalot. So anyways guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, and also don't forget to comment and subscribe. Once again, if the next few videos, including this one, are going to be a little bit quieter than normal, it's just that I'm recording this around 3:30 in the morning right now, because I just gotta have some time pass by before like the Pokemon Sun and Moon stuff get released and all that. I'm kind of breaking the fourth wall here. So like I said, anyways guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, and also don't forget to comment and subscribe. Now the next Pokemon we are going to be doing, we are going to be staying in 3rd gen, just because there are a lot of 3rd gen Pokemon that I think honestly deserves a Mega Evolution, and this one is no exception. And we're going to be talking about Mega Relicanth this Friday. So like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and also don't forget to comment and subscribe. On Friday, we're going to be talking about Mega Relicanth. So this is White Boy for the win, and I'll catch you guys later.